Now you have what I mentioned earlier, a digital worker that,
Yeah.
in the past, we could look at a digital assistant as an intern.
I mean, so obviously AI agents, they're on the tip of everyone's tongue these days. And it used to be digital assistants. What really inspired this shift and how did AI world really highlight the need of agents?
Great questions. There's two things, right? And it could be a chicken and an egg type of
Mhm.
situation, Nate, right? One, as we had digital assistants and we spoke to customers, customers adopted it. Customers in the JDRs ecosystem have adopted digital assistants, right? It is a fact. And the digital assistants served a purpose, right? It was more the model of helping the human be informed. So the human would ask it a question and the digital assistant would answer, and it was done. Then the human would ask a different question and get an answer done, and then on and on and on, right? That was the paradigm for interactions. And while that drove value for business, it certainly drove value, it wasn't necessarily transformational. So, and that's another thing as we think about adoption of AI, right? It's not just adopting tech, right? Yes, we have there are customers out there that are very forward thinking and want to be on the leading or sometimes bleeding edge of technology, but others want to wait and really understand what's the ROI, right? Now we shift over to agents. And then one of the things I talked about the technology that evolved. But, that was being done, but it was being fed also, or the drive to develop that technology of cognitive reasoning was fed by the need of business saying, I need more value before I adopt, before I implement
Yeah.
this across the board." And when we get into process automation, and I really mean, right, head to toe from,
Yeah.
from some processes, that's where we start looking at significant ROI, right, and value for the customer. And that's where now it's for customers like, "Well, we need that," right? And it's driven these additional features that I talked about, whether it's the multimodality capabilities in it, but the reasoning, the breaking down a task, the being able to do things. Now you have what I mentioned earlier, a digital worker that,
Yeah.
in the past, we could look at a digital assistant as an intern.